Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about softwood cuttings. This is in preparation for your practical when you will be taking some of these cuttings. So what I'm going to run through today is we're going to explore what are cuttings, what are softwood cuttings. We are going to look at the tools we're going to use and also how to take the cuttings, so the process. So cuttings are actually just pieces of stem that come from the main plant that when you put that in a suitable mix will grow to be a new plant. So they're essentially clones. Now, what do we mean by softwood cuttings? Softwood cuttings is the cutting that you take from the soft new growth. So you can see here the soft growth. This has been put on in spring, so not growth from last year, because that will most likely be woody, but it's the soft new growth. The tools we need for softwood cuttings consist of growing medium. We need to have this prepared beforehand. So we've got some growing medium in pots. This can be either coarse sand or it can be a propagation mix that you can buy. We also need secateurs. Secateurs should be clean and sharp because we want to take cuttings and not tear any of the plant material. We obviously need plant material for cuttings, so these stems, and we need something called a rooting hormone. Here it says it's plant cutting powder, but essentially it is a plant hormone that promotes rooting in plants. Now let's have a look at the process, the steps we take to successfully take cuttings. First, we find suitable material. So the softwood, which can be between 8 to 15 centimeters. We cut it at the base with our sharp secateurs. If we cannot use this material immediately, we put it in some water so it doesn't dry out. What we do then is we remove most of the leaves. We'll leave a little bit up the top, but most of the leaves are removed. The reason for this is so that the leaves do not lose water. The next step is that we recut this cutting, and we cut it just below the node. The reason for cutting it again is because when we cut it again, it will be moist at the bottom because there's water movement through this cutting. And the reason why we want cut it below the node is because that is where the roots will develop. So now we've got this cutting that we've recut and we dip it in some rooting hormone. So because it's moist at the bottom, this rooting hormone will stick to the stem. The next step is to make a hole in our potting mix. The reason why we make a hole is because we don't want that rooting hormone to rub off. If we were to just push it in, that rooting hormone will rub off. So you can use a pencil, you can use a stick, anything that will make a hole for that cutting to fit in. And then you push it into that hole, you firm it up nicely, you water, place it in the shade, and in 4 to 6 weeks, this cutting will form roots.